What is time? Is it universal? Is it a fundamental part of the fabric of our universe? Or is it just a way for humans to make sense of reality? Humans live by the rhythm of time. From the moment we're born, time organizes our lives into seconds, minutes, hours, days, years, a strict progression that seems as real and unyielding as gravity. But what if it isn't? What if time is nothing more than a social construct? Something created not by the cosmos, but by the human mind? Let's start with an everyday observation. The clock ticks forward. We schedule appointments, follow deadlines, and celebrate birthdays as though they abide by some universal law. But on closer inspection, time itself starts to look slippery, elusive. For example, think about this. Why does time sometimes seem to fly by, while at other moments it drags on endlessly? You've felt it. An hour spent stuck in traffic feels impossibly long, while an hour at a lively party vanishes in an instant. Our personal experience of time is undeniably subjective. It's tied to emotions, attention, energy levels, none of which are physically measurable forces like gravity or magnetism. So, where does this leave us? If time feels so variable, how do we know if it's real or just something humans invented? Science gives us one story. In physics, the concept of time is critical. Isaac Newton once believed that time was absolute, a constant ticking that progressed uniformly everywhere in the universe. But then Albert Einstein came along, and everything changed. Einstein's theory of relativity revolutionized how we think about time. In his equations, time isn't fixed at all. It's elastic. It slows down when you move faster, accelerates when you stay still, and even bends around massive objects like planets and stars. Maybe you've heard of the famous example. Astronauts traveling close to the speed of light might return to Earth and find that years have passed here, even though they only aged a few months. This phenomenon is called time dilation. What relativity tells us is this: time isn't a single, unchanging thing. It's interconnected with space and relative to your position and motion. But hold on. If time is so easily bent and shaped by physical forces, does that mean it's truly fundamental? Not everyone agrees. Some physicists argue that time isn't a property of the universe. It's a way humans interpret change. Think of it this way. Without movement, without events, without any kind of progression, would time even exist? Some believe that what we call time is just the unfolding of events in space. Instead of being real in its own right, it's simply a mental tool, a way for us to measure the shifts and changes around us. Philosophy takes a different angle. For centuries, thinkers have debated the nature of time, and the answers they've come up with are wildly diverse. Plato and Aristotle, for instance, thought of time as being tied to motion. In their view, it was impossible to think of time without linking it to physical changes, like the sun rising, setting, and then rising again. Meanwhile, theologians often place time within the context of eternity, suggesting that human perception of time is limited compared to the infinite now of the divine. Then, there are modern philosophers like Immanuel Kant, who propose that time isn't something out there in the physical world. It's a part of how our brains organize experience. According to Kant, humans perceive reality in sequences, before and after, cause and effect. And this mental framework creates an illusion of time even if it doesn't exist in an objective sense. Is this starting to sound mind-bending? Let's simplify. Imagine you're watching a movie. You see characters, action, drama, all appearing to unfold over time. But pause the movie and look more closely. What it's actually made of are individual frames, static images that don't move at all. Only when the frames play in rapid succession does your mind create the illusion of motion. Some philosophers suggest the universe may work like that. Maybe reality itself is made of indivisible chunks, moments that, when pieced together by our brains, give rise to the sensation of time. And here's where things really get fascinating. Our experience of time itself can be influenced by cultural context. Some indigenous cultures, such as the Hopi people, have entirely different ways of conceptualizing time compared to Western frameworks. For example, in the Hopi language, there is less distinction between past, present, and future. Events are often described more in terms of their relevance to the present moment rather than where they fall on a linear timeline. This raises a powerful question. Is time not just subjective for individuals, but shaped by culture as well? Could our sense of past and future be something we've collectively invented? This brings us back to the question, is time real? If physics has shown us that time can bend, shrink, and expand, and if philosophy suggests time is just how humans organize change, why does it still feel so undeniable? One possible answer lies in the brain. Neuroscientists have discovered that humans have internal mechanisms, essentially biological clocks, that help us process time. For instance, the brain's perception of time can be influenced by dopamine levels, mental focus, or even external stimuli. And when parts of the brain associated with time perception are damaged, individuals can lose their sense of sequence altogether. In other words, we experience time because our brains are designed to notice it, not necessarily because it's a fixed property of the universe. But don't dismiss time just yet. Even if it's not real in the purest sense, even if it's a human construct, it's arguably the most useful construct we've ever invented. Without time, we'd struggle to coordinate tasks, understand causality, or even form memories. Time is a framework that allows society, culture, and science to progress. It may not exist outside of human consciousness, but it shapes everything within it. And that's where we land. Time is paradoxical. It's woven into the laws of physics, etched into our biology, yet also slippery and subjective. Whether it's real or not depends entirely on your perspective, on whether you're asking a physicist, a philosopher, or simply someone trying to make it to work on time. So, what do you think? Is time a fundamental force of nature, or is it a convenient illusion we use to organize life? Maybe the truth lies somewhere in between, or maybe it's the kind of question that can never be answered, not fully, not definitively. But one thing's for sure, as long as humans exist, we'll keep counting the seconds, watching the clock, and wondering what time really means. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let us know your thoughts in the comments below. After all, this conversation, like time itself, is anything but straightforward.